Okay, welcome to the Global Woman Show. And this is an interview for the Global Woman magazine with two amazing women who have founded Laster.net. Now you might be curious, what is this about? Erica Baird and Karen Wagner, two retired attorneys, have just launched this amazing uh, adventure, I would call it, because it's so inspirational. Together, Baird and Wagner are in a mission to redefine retirement for modern career women by confronting outdated concepts, defying stereotypes, and raising our collective voices to ensure that retirement for all of us is shaped by women for women. Baird and Wagner want women to tap into our experiences and passions, forge new identities, and find new purpose and pass on what we know to the next generation. So, Erica, Karen, welcome to the Global Woman community. I know, as I was telling you earlier, the ladies in our club are going to love this because we are all going to that direction and we have so much to learn from you. So you both had successful careers in your past and you have achieved a lot in your life. But you didn't choose just to sit down and enjoy the rest of the life doing nothing because you have worked enough. You said, no, we want to do something more productive where we can leave a legacy for the next generation. Where this idea come from and why together?
Well, we were both lawyers. We did not work together, but we knew each other for a long time, and we both retired at more or less the same time from the top of the world. And overnight, suddenly, that was it. Nobody wanted to talk to us anymore, and we knew each other, and we got together, and we said, "Well, this is strange. What's happening here? We know so much. We have such experience. We have assets." We want to help people. We want to tell them, where we've been, what we've been up to. And so we decided to try to figure out what was happening. And we concluded that one of the things that was happening was that people didn't realize who we were. They thought women of a certain age, or retired women, wanted to go sit in a rocking chair somewhere and stare into the middle distance and do nothing. And we were thinking, we have 30 years ahead of us. We have been incredibly active and worked very hard all of our lives. We've raised children while we've done all this. Why on earth would we want to sit in a field in a rocking chair for 30 years? So we decided we should show people who we were. So we started Luster.net to say, look, this is what we look like. This is not anybody that's going to go sit around for 30 years. Erica, you want to elaborate on that?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think we were annoyed that people didn't see us as we were. We thought, what is going on here? And we said, like we said when we started out in the 70s, there were a lot of stereotypes that were in our way in the 70s. These are stereotypes and they're not true, just like they weren't true then. So we have to fight them. So it's up to us. So we got to do something about it, right?
Absolutely.
We can't just sit there and say, oh, woe is me. We need to get back on our horse and, start the battle again. And so when we launched Luster, we said, we're not old, we're not done, we're here. You got to pay attention to us. Wake up, people. And that's kind of what we've been doing.
Erica, sometimes I find myself working so much under pressure and I finish one project and I start another one, which I start myself. Nobody put pressure on me. I put pressure on myself because I'm very excited when I start something new and then it's another one and another one. And then sometimes I find myself asking this question, why I'm putting so much pressure on myself? And then I say, I can't wait to get retired. I will celebrate that date.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to get retired. So now you're telling me that when I get retired, there is not such thing just sitting there and no pressure, yeah?
Well, no, but it's a different kind of pressure because it's everything that you want to do when you want to do it. So the one thing that you don't really have when you're working at your career and you want to be you're climbing up a kind of ladder in a way. I mean, you measure your successes. You don't have time. And there's always, more that you think you should do. But when you finish that and you now are in this kind of retired mode, you get to kind of choose. You get to kind of say, what is my retirement, so to speak, portfolio look like? How much is it purpose? How much is it play? How much? So you start thinking about a different paradigm than you do when your life is just work. Karen,
That's so true. Yes, Karen, what do you think about this new paradigm that you are co-creating together?
Well, it's most exciting. First of all, I might say, Mirela, I think when you retire, you're going to be just the same. So you're going to be working very hard anyway. But
Thank you.
yes, it's a great thing. And what we think is that we need for people to value us, but first we need us to our cohort to understand what our powers are and what our force is and how much we can do. And that, I think, is one of our first objectives, is to say to all the people around us who are like us, who worked for 40 years and who have much to give, to say, hey, don't accept the stereotype. Get out there and figure out what you want to do and go and do it. And Erica, of course, is correct that it's more under your control, but you get pretty involved in things and you start to get just as busy as you ever were. So it's exciting. And one thing that certainly has happened, which is just wonderful, we were lawyers. That gave us entree into certain groups of people. Now we're meeting all kinds of other people, and we're meeting people doing all kinds of things in the media, and young people and old people and every kind of people. And it's just really enjoyable. So
tell us a little bit more about your model and what your aim is to achieve with this great initiative.
Well, I think we have 3 or 4 different things we'd like to achieve. We'd like women to take up on what Karen was just talking about, to start thinking about themselves differently. Instead of, when you get older and you see the images out there, put aside Helen Mirren and Jane Fonda, because we're never going to be Helen Mirren and Jane Fonda, but everybody else, all the images are kind of depressing. And if you start internalizing them, you start to believe it yourself. So the first thing we're saying is, wait a second, that's not me, I'm here. So if we could create a movement of women that says, I am who I am, I'm the age that I age, 70 is not the new 50, 70 is the new 70.
I love it.
I don't need to be somebody else, I need to be me. And I have superpowers. I mean, I have some superpowers that even the young don't have, like experience, right? I've been there, done that in ways that they can't say that they have been. So I think our first mission is to say, we're here, we have superpowers. Why are you ignoring us? You shouldn't be. And then the second thing I think we're saying is to the younger generation of women, we don't want, we're not looking to take your jobs or any of that stuff, but we would like to make you even better. We would like you to get further faster. We'd like to help you because we've navigated a lot of, minefields in our own careers, and we'd like to help you navigate yours.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit more then, what exactly you provide, Karen, with Lastra? What kind of expertise and what kind of help and support women can find with Lastra?
Well, the very first thing we provide is an image of us, an image of them, an image of women doing things at older ages. So the first thing we believe we provide is inspiration, both visually and in the way we write about what our lives look like. We think that women have a hard time when they retire. Most women who retire from big jobs are not happy about that, and once they retire, they lose their sense of self, their sense of identity, and they worry. Who am I now? What should I wear? Where should I go? What should I do? Does anybody value me? Who am I? So one of our first objectives is to tell everybody, this is normal. You will mourn, you'll be sad about the job that you loved. You'll work through that. But while you're doing that, think about what is it you want to do? What have you loved about your job? What have you hated about your job? Do you have something you never did before that you want to do now? Just think about it. And once you've gotten yourself on your feet again, figure out a way to do what you really want to do. A lot of women of our age are, in fact, entrepreneurs, and that is one way in which they express the next stages of their lives. A lot of them are doing other things, but what they need to do is just say, okay, I'm going to go through this process, then I'm going to relax and I'm going to think this through and I'm going to get back on my feet and I'm going to be myself, but new.
It's never too late. It's never too late to reinvent yourself and to achieve the dreams that probably you parked somewhere. And by landing to the right place and meeting the right people, you can be surprised and impress yourself to achieve things that you never imagined that you can achieve. And with your superpowers that Erica mentioned, oh my God, you definitely can achieve that.